Okay, welcome back to a new episode on the Crossbar channel. This morning we're discussing PSG versus LOSC and then Manchester United and Leicester City. Those are the two early games. Currently, I think Tottenham is playing against West Ham, but I'm not going to go over that game just now. It's just going to be those two games, focusing on PSG result and injuries and what it means for their Champions League bout coming up. And then Man United, what that means for them as far as table and aspirations. So, without further ado, let's go. Okay, we started early today with PSG playing home against Lille. Yeah, Lille needed a result. Paris needed a result, especially what's been going on. They had counter performances in the last three games, and this was the time to get a little bit of sympathy back from the fan. The Parc Des Princes was pretty packed, and the fan support was there. I thought there would be way more boo than I didn't even hear any boos, so I was surprised. I thought it would be usually after a Champions League loss and come back to domestic leagues. They don't forgive that easily, especially after a Champions League game. But nonetheless, Paris and the fan were cheering, and Paris was leading 2-0. Really quick, really. Two quick goals. I think it was Mbappe and Neymar back to back. Then Neymar got injured, and then Lille came back, and Lille was winning 3-2 at some point, and then Paris rallied back to win 4-3. So it was an epic game, everything you need on a football game. 2-0, then 3-2 for the away team. Then Paris rallied and scored another two goals with, of course, Lionel Messi scoring pretty much the last kick of the game. It was a free kick, and it was just him by himself against everybody, and he scored it. It wasn't those type of free kick when you have two people standing in front of the ball. He knew that was his time. Also, Neymar was not there. If Neymar was there, probably would be standing there. But yeah, anyways, as far as the win goes, Paris needed that win. A lot of people in the Paris Saint-Germain dressing room definitely needed that win more than others. I'm talking about Christophe Galtier. I think his head was on the line. I'm not sure if he was going to get fired today if they didn't win, but pretty much so. Now he gets a lifesaver for his team. The team rallied and, went 4-2. Sometimes that's what it takes. A win and the coach is safe. His coach is maintained to his position and he gives him some time to work again. Next week they've played Marseille. If they win again, he's definitely in a better, comfortable position now before the Bayern Munich game, which I think is going to be ultimately where the board is going to decide if they're going to keep him or not. But beating Lille at home, winning against Marseille would be the right thing to do for Christophe Galtier's man, for him to stay put before Bayern Munich game. Bad note for PSG, Neymar got injured, but more importantly, I would say for me, Nuno Mendes got injured. So to me, that's the bigger blow, because as good as Neymar is, I'm not sure if his injury, I'm not sure. Well, we don't know yet if he's going to miss the game against Bayern Munich, but I kind of think it's a good thing in disguise that if he doesn't play that game against Bayern Munich. And I know that sounds weird, but I just think these three guys up front doesn't work. It won't work in super big games in Champions League because they don't defend, and you can't win the Champions League. You cannot beat a team like Bayern Munich with three guys up front that don't defend. Because Bayern Munich, they attack and they defend all 10 of them. And neither Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe even defend. So I think for the balance of the team, it's important that one of them not played. And the reason why I say is Neymar, the one it's a blessing because basically he and Mbappe are two left wingers. I know this Neymar's natural position, but Mbappe has been wanted to play there. He's flourishing there. So de facto, he's not a number 9 anymore. But if you look across all the big threes that have worked recently, Real Madrid, big three, Liverpool, big three, I'll say, even Barcelona, big three. Usually, you have two wingers and one striker who's willing to not be the top scorer in order to feed the other guys. The reason why he worked at Real Madrid, because Benzema really was the guy that was keep holding the ball and passing it to the left to Cristiano Ronaldo or to Gareth Bale or Di Maria to a certain extent. So that's the formula that works. Same for Liverpool. At their peak, Roberto Firmino was not trying to be top goal scorer. He was happy to hold the ball and give it to either Salah or Mane. And the same thing at Barcelona. The problem is, in Paris, first of all, they have no number 9. and then they don't have a false nine, and then Messi and then Mbappe and Neymar play pretty much the same position, and everybody's trying to shine, so it won't work. And none of them defends. That's the thing. If you're gonna have a big three, all of you gotta defend, and one has to sacrifice his goal. And I think that's why there's no more big threes right now in Europe. I mean, unless I'm mistaken, there's not necessarily any big threes now. It's just big ones, big twos, duos, I would say. But yeah, that big three, one has to go. I'm gonna keep Mbappe because, of course, he's young, he's pacey, and pretty much the best, at least the best player right now in Europe. So Neymar injury could be a blessing in disguise for Paris. I know they're gonna miss his quality on the ball, his passing, his vision, and his ability to draw foul. In big games, those are very important. His ability to draw contact and get defender in trouble, get yellow card and second guessing themselves, especially having Mbappe with that pace. If a defender has already a yellow card, it's kind of like that helps him, that helps Paris when the defender is chasing Mbappe not to be grabbing and stuff like that. So I know they're gonna miss Neymar basically, but it could be a good thing if they insert somebody in the lineup who's gonna help with the defensive assignment as well as helping forward. Other than that, Nuno Mendes was a big blow for me because this kid is pretty much beside what's his name, Theo Hernandez. I think he's my second go-to as far as left back that I'm looking at right now in Europe. He has everything you need: pace, strong, technicality, passing ability, and he scores sometimes. So he was pretty much the best player of PSG game in the second half. He and Mbappe were the best players. So, but that's not here nor there. Paris won 4-3, picked themselves up and rallied at the end, and that's a great win. And then yeah, we'll see next week how they do with Marseille. Paris is still top of the table, 8-point clear. Marseille hasn't played yet. They play later today. And we'll see if Marseille need to keep the winning going so that the derby, so the Classico will be, or the Classique will be more interesting when they face Paris next week. So yeah, and Paris got to prepare for Bayern Munich, which Bayern Munich lost yesterday in Bundesliga. We talked about it on a different video. But yeah, that's it for the PSG against LOSC video breakdown. My takeaway, I think Paris did what they're supposed to do, even though they suffered doing it. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Well, the only thing that matters is did you get the 3-point or not? And they certainly did get the 3-point. So I'm not gonna blame them for getting the 3-point the way they did. There's a lot to be desired. Messi, for example, was completely a ghost the whole game up until that last free kick. And that's the thing with those players like Messi's. That's the reason why you don't take them out of games, even if they're not performing, because it takes half a second for them to hit a free kick and deliver the victory. So as far as Paris is concerned, they wish he would have been there for the whole game. They probably would have won comfortably. But he showed up when it matters. And the headline's going to be Messi saved the day. But Mbappe had 2 goals, and then Messi scored the last goal. So, but yeah, that's the nature of the beast of the game. That's usually what people remember, who scored last. But as far as confidence boost, the 3 stars scored today. Actually, Neymar, Mbappe scored twice, and Messi. Neymar went out with an injury. He will probably miss Bayern Munich game. The way I saw that ankle twisting, I'm not sure he's going to come back on time. Could. March 8 still far away. Not too far, but I don't think he will. But hopefully they get back Hakimi, he's injured. Marquinhos is injured. Nuno Mendes is injured. Neymar is injured. Hopefully they get at least three of these 4 that could help them moving forward. All right, that was it for my 2 cents for the PSG against LOSC game earlier this morning. I will do a Ligue 1 recap, of course, like I do every week after all the games are played. Right now, we still have a bunch of games not played. We only had the Saturdays and early morning today played. So, other than that, let me know in the comment below what you think about the game. How did you feel about Messi's free kick? What do you think about Neymar's injury? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? A good thing in disguise, and Neymar's not going to be there, might not be there to face Bayern Munich? Or am I just crazy saying that Neymar's absence could actually bring more balance to the team? And I'll see you on the next one.